Okay, I just want to add a few informations before we move to the next slide. So, organics model consists of these characteristics. Normally, can commonly be found in simple structures of organizations, and mechanistic model, which consists of these characteristics, can commonly found among bureaucratic style of the organizations. So, there are strategies, current strategies framework are focusing on three dimensions. Most current strategies, first focus on three dimensions. First dimension is innovation strategies, second one cost minimization strategies, and third one is imitation strategies. So innovation strategies focusing more on meaningful and unique innovations. Cost minimizations focusing more on minimize the cost or tightly control the cost, cut prices, and so on. Imitation strategies normally are referring to the strategies of copying the successful ideas of innovators. So these innovation strategies, they innovate, they come up with the new products, come up with the unique innovations, come up with the unique products. So those who are using imitation strategies, they just copying the strategies that been done by the company who are using these innovation strategies. So imitation strategies referring to copying successful ideas of innovators. They normally will come up with their own products after this has been proven by innovations. So after viability has been proven by the innovators, that's mean the company that come from these innovation strategies. So as you can see here, the strategies for innovation strategies, the structure of organizations that are more important, more effective is organic. For cost minimization strategies, so normally the style of the organization is mechanistics. For imitation strategies, normally can be found or be used by both mechanistics or organic style of organizations. So organization size, when we talk about organization size, large organizations, when we talk about large organization is having more than 2,000 employees. So large organization tend to be more in terms of specializations, more departmentalizations, have more vertical level from top to bottoms, and they also have more rules and regulations compared to the small organizations. So we move to technology. Technology is the way an organization transfer its input into output. So in certain companies such as factory or manufacturing firms or manufacturing company, they produce something. They come up with the products. So they have input where they transfer input into output. So input we consider it as a raw materials. Output is the finished products or the good or services. So company, manufacturing company or company that involved in manufacturing products, they convert or they transform their input into output. The way they transform, they normally use technology. So technology is the way the organization transfer input into output. So there are many technology that been used to transform this input into outputs. So the organization structure also adapts to this technology. So organization environment also is important to choose between mechanistics or organic style. So it's depend on the environment also. Dynamic environments, when we talk about dynamic, the environment is characterized by uncertainty. So managers need to deal with the uncertainty when in the dynamic environment. So in order to minimize the uncertainty, there are some organizations, they have certain strategies to respond to the threats coming from coming from uncertainty. So for example, Pepsi and Southwest Airlines use social networking departments to counter negative informations posted on the blogs to reduce the uncertainty. And some other organizations, they form strategic alliances to compete with the other company. So in order to minimize the uncertainty in the environment. For example, Microsoft and Yahoo join forces in strategic alliance to compete with Google. So any organization environment has three dimensions. So any environments, whether it is dynamics or whether it is statics, have normally has three dimensions: capacity, volatility, and complexity. When we talk about capacity, we talk about whether the environments have more capacity in terms of excess resources. So having excess resources are important to buffer the scarcity of the resources. And volatility is referring to the degree to the instability in the environments characterized by high degree of unpredictable change. And complexity is referring to the degree of heterogeneity and concentrations among environmental elements. So simple environment normally are homogeneous. Homogeneous consists of characteristics or similarity in the environments. For example, in terms of employees' background, in terms of employees' characteristics, basically more or less the same. If it is referring to the homogeneity, but if it is referring to heterogeneity, is the characteristics, the background, and so on are totally different. So complex environment characterized by heterogeneity or differences. Simple environments are normally homogeneous. That means they have many similarities between them. So if we want to use these diagrams or these diagrams, or what we call it, slides, as you can see here, the stable environments where the resources are abundant, when the environment also simple, so the style of the organizations are more suitable to use mechanistics. When the environment is complex, the resources are quite scarce, and dynamics, the environment is also uncertain. So the organizations that the style of the organization that are more appropriate in this kind of environments is organic. So here, when everything is stable, and resources also abundant, mechanistics is more suitable compared to organic. Another factor that shapes organizational structure is institutions. So institutions, there are cultural factor also that acts as a guideline for proper behavior in the organizations. Regulatory pressure depend on the culture also in the organization. Simple inertia is the way things have always been done in the organizations. And culture, fads and trends. This is fad and trend is the popular trends, the famous trend that's normally the organizations follow. So institutional pressure are often difficult to see, specifically if we take them for granted, but it doesn't mean that it's not powerful. Moving to next slides, an organization structure can have significant effects on its members. So it's impossible to generalize. So it's impossible to generalize which organizational structure are suitable for which employees. So not everyone prefer the prudence or flexibility of organic structure, because organic structure, they have low level of departmentalization, low level of formalizations, so they are more flexible. In contrast, mechanistics are more standardized, least flexible. So certain employees, different employees may prefer flexibility. Some employees may prefer highly standardized style of organization. So it is impossible to generalize which one is suitable for employees. So some people are more productive and satisfied when work tasks are standardized and ambiguity minimized, like in mechanistic style. Some people, they love freedoms and more flexibility, like in organic style. So it's kind of impossible to generalize which one is more suitable for certain types of employees. So organizational design and employees behavior, we want to relate employee behavior with the design. Normally, work specialization contribute to higher employee productivity. So in the organizations, work specialization is important to increase employee productivity. However, regarding span of control, no evidence found support regarding span of control and employee satisfactions or performance. However, there are strong evidence that link centralization and job satisfactions, meaning that less centralized. That means, in general, employees prefer the decentralized of decision making compared to centralized decision making. So, less centralized is, in other words, is decentralized, is associated with higher satisfaction. So, in other words, this statement is referring to the importance of decentralizations in relationship with a higher job satisfaction. And national culture could also influence the preference for the structure, which structure actually is preferred by employees. So it also depends on the national culture of where the employees come from. That's it.